This is exciting stuff right now. The man himself, a world champion, a gold medalist, a stud, a unbelievable human being who is well-dressed and looking finer than ever. This guy does not age. One of the world's fastest men still. I'm saying that statement without even seeing him run, but I know that because once you have that in your system, you just keep going, baby, forever. Thank you so much for giving us your time and being here live in studio. Donovan Bailey, everyone. And what a pleasure. What a pleasure. I'm going to actually shake your hand, man.
And now it's time for another amazing
I don't need this one.
No, yeah, you could just use the mic in front of you. I apologize. We have all these mics lying around. We're mic crazy here on the program.
I got it, man. I got it.
How are you?
I do this. I got it.
You got it.
I'm great.
You look great.
And I try, all of LA, man. Sunshine.
There's a lot of sunshine.
That's what it is, sunshine.
So, man, what is Donovan Bailey up to these days? What you been doing? What you got going on?
Lots of stuff. I got lots and lots of stuff. You know what? I work for BBC, so I'm in the UK quite a bit. BBC 5 Live, so it's sports talk. So it's kind of like what you guys do.
Yeah. I mean, we're not all sports. We're goofy talk.
You're goofy talk.
Yeah, we talk about goofs.
But I do a lot of philanthropy work, and I try to get out on the golf course, do some work there, and I try to raise awareness for a couple of charities that I've signed on to kind of help out around the globe.
Wonderful. Would you like to talk about any of the charities that you're working with, and just to give them a quick plug and stuff?
Yeah, well, I mean, I for those that don't know, my mom had Alzheimer's, so so Alzheimer's UK, Alzheimer's.org in the US, or Alzheimer's Canada. I mean, I try to get out as much information as possible because I think that with the aging population, that might be something serious later on, and it affected me personally. So it's something that I've dedicated some time to. Big brothers and sisters, I'm always part of that.
Awesome.
That's I've been volunteering with those guys since I was in my early, probably late teenage years. I mean, I volunteered to kind of help that. But there's lots of things. I mean, 2016 is coming. It's the 20th anniversary of my win in Atlanta. So we have a movie coming out.
Sorry, win? What are you talking about?
I have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't know. I don't know why I'm even here. Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Man, 20 years to the day that you brought every single Canadian to their feet and just yelling in their living rooms and absolutely going phenomenally crazy, celebrating what you had accomplished, which someone about 8 years, I believe, before you kind of did for a moment. And then there was the heartbreak of it. Obviously winning that gold medal. And I guess you must hear this everywhere you go, but is that a feeling you ever lose, that excitement that went through your life at that time?
Not really. In reflecting back, for me, it was just me being an athlete. And then everyone that's either an athlete or a musician, you kind of get out there and do your craft and not care about what someone else did before you. But yeah, I mean, in reflecting back, and the fact that I'm reminded by Canadians every day, it's the fact that wherever I travel around the globe, anyone from Canada that sees me, they kind of walk over and say, "Thank you."
You're a legend.
Thank you for doing whatever you do, and thank you for keep doing it. So yeah. In reflecting back, I mean, it's very nice that I'm reminded constantly by Canadians that we're a great nation, and that at some point, I got them all excited.
The 100-meter dash. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, well,
is it a dash? What do they call it?
It's a dash.
It's
whatever.
It's great. It's a way. I mean, the only thing I do that well is maybe have an orgasm with a really beautiful woman that quick under 10 seconds. That's it. I do nothing. I'm very slow at most things in life.
So you have the world record for that, then? Is what you're saying?
Unfortunately,
that's the only thing I come faster than him and the Donovan in is that. That's it. Everything else.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah. I beat that record every night.
Wow.
But I mean, it is the sport that when it comes to the Olympics, and whether it is, I think in winter it's like the gold medal hockey game,
right?
And then when it's the summer, and I would still say it's bigger than hockey. It's that race. That race is on the global scale, billions of people watching you. Is there? You go back. You said you were just an athlete, but there has to be some different type of pressure for you before that race amongst any other.
Well, I think for those that don't really understand professional track and field, it's the exact same thing as golf or tennis. So we do have our major championships would be the Olympics, but there are Grand Prix competitions around the globe all year. So essentially, you can go and you can win those things. But yeah, the major pressures, no. I mean, no, not at all. I mean, the guys, there's no surprises. I think that sometimes people think that you train. You train in your backyard, and every 4 years you kind of meet a bunch of guys on the track. But it's actually not that way. You know who the people are. You know who the top 10 sprinters are, just like you know who the top 10 golfers are. We're paid exactly the same way. If you are title holders and putting seat in the stands, you're definitely getting, you're getting paid well to be there, So yeah, it's the exact same as golf or tennis, man. So I mean, so a lot of times when I try to teach people that, you just can let them understand that that's kind of how it works.
But with that being said, and maybe it's because I've never interviewed a golfer or really a tennis player, is I would think that the Masters or Wimbledon or whatever would be those tournaments that they have more pressure on. It's still the Olympics. It's so many eyes are glued to you, and you're representing a nation, which has got to feel so proud. And then also the sponsorship money and the fame that you have forever from it is got to be, it's unbelievable. Not in the back of your head at all. You just go and run the race.
No, I'm just listen.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm different that way because I mean my mental strength was one of was probably. One of my strengths against my competitors. So I took it as one race or one event, but I certainly was prepared for it. So I was prepared for weather. You're prepared for a whole slew of things. But yes, it's if I'm going to answer the question and say, is there pressure to win the Olympic Games? Of course there is. There's no way that. If you're going to compare that to music or to anything else, I mean, you have your biggest gig at the World Music Awards, whatever it might be, and you're someone who's, this is your one shot, or someone in the movies that this is their one shot to have, an Academy Award performance. That there has to be pressure on yourself, and I think that if you're an artist or an athlete or a CEO, I mean, if whatever the big event comes, if you're not nervous, then you are not real, right? So I'd be nervous going into the Olympic Games, but I also knew that the competitors that I was competing against, I mean, I really just had to stay in my lane and kind of do what I did.
So, I mean, Donovan Bailey, at Donovan Bailey on Twitter, go and follow this guy. He's got over 100,000 Twitter followers, and he's still very engaging with his fans. I was looking. It's cool that you still are in touch with people, and everyone, of course, you're a very recognizable figure. When you're doing the race, you were a bit of the favorite that year, right?
Right, I was a favorite.
And so I guess that would help with what you're saying. But, I mean... Man,
help or pressure. I mean,
yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say because the other thing is, I mean, no one remembers the guys who finished second or third. I don't care if they get medals. I don't know who they are.
Well, I never want to be that guy. Thank God I'm never that guy.
But your mental strength, is that part of your training regimen? Is that just sort of was that instilled in you at a young age? And in a motivational way, speak to our listeners and a lot of us we're self doubters. I am every day about myself. Sometimes the show, and I think I'm always in so much admiration of people who have accomplished so much and learning about not only their physical strengths but their mental ones as well.
Well, you know what? I always speak about my parents. I mean, my dad being the one I speak about quite a bit because of his sheer confidence. But I was taught from I was very young, to have huge expectations of myself. I remembered, in school getting 94%.
In gym?
No, funny enough, no. It was grade 11 chemistry. Funny enough. And my dad saying to me, "What the hell happened to the 6%?" That's what we
love it. I love stories.
Right? But that's what it is. I mean, so I was taught to be successful. It didn't matter really what I was going to do. The expectation was I was going to be the best, and I better be the best. My father, the very first race that he came to, although I was in professional track and field for years, when he the very first race that he came and watched was in 1996 at the Olympics, right? But not only that. So here's what happens: my daughter's 2. I'm there with my dad. She's there with my dad and other family members then. We get there.
That would have been cool, by the way, if you just brought her to the track, like just before you did the race.
No, but I did. No, she was there.
That's amazing.
No, but I'm saying to you that you have 3 rounds to go through in the 100 meters to get to the finals and then win, right? So my dad said, well, I'm taking my granddaughter out for breakfast, so I'm not going to see your first race. Right. Wow. and then so
you got to win that one, or your daughter's not going to see you.
Right. So essentially, he didn't come to any race until the finals, and he told me that. He just said, listen, I'm here, and we'll see you at the track tomorrow evening.
Wow. I'll tell you, if that was my family, and trust me, I've done nothing on a competitive scale that they would even want to come see. But if I was in that level, they would have not only planned the trip 2 years before, they would have told all their family members. Everyone would have to show up early. They would have been having signs and kissing me, and I would have failed. I would have lost. But they would have said, good job.
No, listen, that wouldn't have happened. I'm just saying to you that I was taught from very young to be confident in really what I did. I mean, and whether I was reading a book, writing an exam, on the track, in business, whatever it is, I was just taught from very young to be confident in really my own abilities.
So what do you speak when, and I know you do a ton of motivational talks and you talk to children, and of course, listen, you're Donovan Bailey. People who are a bit insecure or people who are afraid of what's to come in the future, what are some words you would say to them in terms of not only obviously those messages of, failure is no option,
right?
But I mean, what else, in terms of your work ethic and things that I think people don't realize that's under the radar in terms of how hard you work to get to where you are?
I think that sometimes people don't really understand that boring, monotonous things are things that's going to get them to the place that they want to get to. And what I do a lot of in my travels now is actually, workshops or Q&As where it's interactive. There are a lot of people that actually have a ton of questions. So me going in and doing a corporate speech for an hour or for 45 minutes sometimes really doesn't get the answers to people that about their own personal self-worth. So sometimes engaging in a conversation with someone and they're giving me their story, and then I'm giving them my story. And then, of course, instilling some of the simple things that I practice every day, or the simple things that I'll tell my own kids are things that will always be good for those people. I mean, and so I actually like being in a room where you can sit and have a conversation with the audience. It's always amazing.
Well, what a nice thing, though, in terms of taking the spotlight off of yourself and hearing someone else's story, learning a little bit about them, and then exactly giving back from your experiences, like you said, to them. I mean, I love hearing that from someone of your stature, because a lot of people would just be, it's about me. Okay, it's not about you. All right, Jim.
But the thing is also, I mean, I'm very blessed in the platform that I have. The fact that I can come in and have
it's a privilege, right?
Yeah, very, very. I've been very blessed and a huge privilege that I do have that platform, and that platform exists no matter what for the rest of my life, no matter what, and it exists in my kids' life and in anyone that knows me and anyone that's part of my DNA. So it's for me to give someone the stage. It's very, very easy for me. It's not that big of a deal because I know me. I know what I can do. And regardless of who I'm in a room with, I know what I'm capable of doing. So I just want to let them do their thing. Are
you in conversations at all with Ben Johnson?
Never.
Huh?
But I mean, again, this is not, I had to answer a lot of questions on his behalf when I just started track and field. So on behalf of Canada, and on behalf of Canadians, and plus we're from different worlds. I mean, I'm an Oakville boy. I mean, so at the end of the day, that's we're never on a team together. He's older than me, before me, so it's just one of those things.
When you won back in '96, and I can't believe in a few years it's going to be 20 years, man.
Yep.
Does that make you feel old a little bit too?
Yes and no. I mean, listen, yes and no. One of the things that I spend a lot of time now doing also is motivating some of the young kids that are here. We have tons of amazing young talented athletes. I mean, we saw a whole new generation of them when I was in Scotland about 4 weeks ago at the Commonwealth Games, and really that's really what I want. In the history of this country, there's been 2 100-meter champions. There's Ted Williams in 1928, and then myself in 1996, and essentially we just want more. We just want more gold medals. I mean, 100%. That's really what it is. Yeah,
what it comes down to.
We just want more.
I was going to say though, did Ben after you win your gold, did he call you up and congratulate you?
No.
Really?
Not at all. I mean, but again, it's a different world, a different place. I mean, I
would have just assumed. I mean, again, I'm a layman. I'm just being presumptuous. Where
right.
I would have thought that would just be a given. Much like I'm sure in hockey that there's older hockey players that will congratulate new hockey players if they sort of saw them on their way up, even though now they're retired or been caught doing drugs.
But I'm saying to you, I'm just saying to you, it's another world. I mean, there's in the world of track and field now, there's only two Olympic champions that's not been affiliated with drugs, and that's the current, which is Usain Bolt, a great kid, and myself. So I mean, at the end of the day, I mean,
is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Now, does that scare you with the sport in terms of it's the one of the greatest things about the Olympics is what it gives back to the world. It unites us, and that's the most beautiful thing about it. Anyway, at least when you see all the flags coming in and all the great nations, and they march in, and then there's a couple nations, only two people, and you kind of get a chuckle, and then the big ones come in again. But I mean, it's a really beautiful thing, and I guess the tarnishing of the sports, which is this steroid use and a lot of drug use and stuff. The competitive side I get because it's more than just the foo-foo, fla-fla, fun stuff. It's about representing your country with pride, and it's about money at the end of the day.
It's about winning.
And money, really, because it brings in a ton of money for people.
Yeah.
Does it scare you, though, all the people who need to cheat? Is that something you must hear that question all the time?
Well, it doesn't scare me. One of the great things about the World Anti-Doping Association is that it's their job to catch the cheaters. And every time I speak to athletes especially, I'm like, listen, anytime there's fame and money, someone's always is going to want to take the fast road. They want to take the speed the express elevator, man. So, it's always going to happen. However, you can train and achieve these things and doing it right. And understand that you can have this and have this title for the rest of your life. There's always going to be people cheating. You never really be concerned with that because with the IOC, the international governing bodies, and the World Anti-Doping Association, that's their job to catch the guys or the women that are going to put their hand in the cookie jar.
Or some of the women who are actually guys.
Well, yeah.
There was that story.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's a gender issue, but hey, that's for you to do, man.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the story.
Neither do I.
It was just that one night in New York. I won't tell anybody. I didn't know. She looked great.
Oh man. I hope she's posted.
No, Donovan Bailey, man. I really do. It's really it's quite miraculous just being in the room with you, knowing what you've accomplished. I'm having flashbacks to now me as a kid and realizing, I wasn't quite a kid, but how excited I was watching that with the family. You were talking about the new up and coming runners. Do we? I don't know much about running. Do we have a chance to have? Do we have some potential future gold medalists?
Yeah, we have. The great thing about Canada is that this is the biggest melting pot on the planet, and we have amazing kids coming up. And we got some young kids. I mean, there's definitely some. There's definitely, I saw a lot of potential in Scotland. So we got some kids. We got some. Damien Warner is a good decathlete. I mean, we've got some really good kids. I mean, I can name probably 10 that have the potential, but I want to keep supporting them and ensuring that they know that they have my support. And essentially, what we want is just that them being serenaded by the Canadian anthem when they go and represent Canada at the World Championships or the Olympic Games.
Well, for hockey, Sidney Crosby, Wayne Gretzky, these guys, everyone knows at like 6 years old.
Right.
They come out of their mother's womb. They're like, that kid's going to be the next great hockey player.
Right.
Is it different in running? Is there more of a development process where they could hit their prime? And when you didn't see it at 16, but at 20, maybe they're just way better.
Well, yeah, I mean, you see it. Usain Bolt was spotted at 12. I mean,
he was.
But you see it. We talk a lot about hockey because as Canadians, we want our kids. We that's the first thing we get them. We get them diapers and then skates, right? That's what happens. And so it's very built into our culture. And in the Caribbean, it's probably track and field.
Interesting.
It's just like. In Dominican Republic, it might be baseball.
Uh-huh.
So what you have is you'll have athletes
Is it Caribbean or Caribbean? I guess you would know better.
Either one.
Okay. I always feel dumb in a conversation. I think sometimes, and it doesn't matter. It's like tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
It's fair?
Yeah,
okay.
It's spelled the same way.
Okay.
Yeah, however you pronounce it, it is what it is.
If you spell it correctly.
Yeah, but there are definitely sports. There are countries that have sports that are entrenched in their culture. I mean, believe it or not, Finland in Finland, hockey is really not the number one sport. It's actually javelin.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. Right.
Sure.
Exactly.
Hey, 4-year-olds, go and throw a spear at someone.
No, but that's what it is. So again, it depends on the culture. So in Canada, hockey players are going to be spotted very young, and it's because of their ability on the ice of what it is that they're shown, or from the stock or DNA they're from, right? So I think track and field is the same, much like tennis or golf.
Do you wish there was more funding for Canadian Olympians so maybe people would have their children, instead of buying them skates, say, hey, let's run some more, let's ski some more, or, things where it's the perception of it is bigger than maybe it should be, because hockey, you're right, everyone's hockey. We should have more funding, I think. You know what? I think there's great funding now. Is there great funding now? I think there's. Maybe that was a dumb question. No. Seriously, it's a very legitimate question because sometimes you hear people are not getting enough funding, but sometimes those people don't deserve funding because they're just not that good. I see. That's the bottom line, But I think that there's amazing funding. I think the issue is that hockey is the sport, man. So I mean, if my kid can run fast and he can skate, well, I'm probably gonna want him to play hockey. Interesting. Have you ever laced him up? Have you ever played hockey? I have attempted to skate. I mean, playing hockey. Is Donovan Bailey a decent skater? I'm okay. I mean, I'm okay. I mean, I got skinny ankles. I mean, I'm okay. I mean, I prefer like snowboarding, but I'm okay. I mean, I'm not that bad. Have you ever raced someone on skates and you race like that would be fun? No. We haven't. I haven't crossed that bridge yet. We have to race someone other than a man in a lane next to me. You've never done that silly stuff, where they go like, I heard a story once. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed saying this, but I'll just say it because I heard it's true, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying it. But part of the reason why, do you remember Ben Johnson was caught in media saying like, I support Rob Ford and Rob Ford supports him. He's part of my campaign only a few months ago. I didn't know. Okay, there was like Ben Johnson, there was a trailer park boy, and there was Rob Ford. Yes. Remember that, Shay? Yeah. And he came out saying they're supporting my campaign. What I heard, and I don't know if I'm allowed saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I hope I'm allowed saying this. I heard that the plan was Ben Johnson was going to race Rob Ford in a race. Wow. And what they were going to do was give Rob Ford a 50-meter head start, and they were going to end at 100 meters. And that was actually in the works. That was the plan. Really? And then they came out, and Rob comes out and says, yeah, this guy's supporting me. And that wasn't even their discussion in the meeting. That's literally, they came out of his office to discuss a supportive charity. I think it was going to be for charity, but obviously a fun way to raise awareness for Rob Ford and his campaign before he pulled out and got the unfortunate cancer and stuff. I don't think Rob would have done that. No. I'm assuming that Rob would not. Who's your money on, though? You have Rob Ford, 50-meter head start, Ben Johnson. Well, Ben raced a horse. He raced a car. I mean, I don't know. You hate this stuff, don't you? I can't stand it because it definitely it kind of it degrades your sport. It trivializes and minimizes exactly what it is as a sport to be looked at. From a professional perspective. I don't think that you see golfers playing golf against a robot. I mean, whatever. It's kind of silly. It's kind of dumb. Donovan Bailey is he's cooler than Chuck Norris. For sure. Yeah. Well, Chuck is cool, dude. Chuck is cool. Man. What are some of your what are some of your favorite movies? What would Donovan Bailey? I'm a big Scarface guy. Are you? I'm a big Scarface. Can you do any impressions? No, come on. I wouldn't even try that thing. Come on, do one. Do one. I wouldn't. Say hello to my little friend. Come on. Hello to my little friend. No. Yeah, I wouldn't even try that. That's amazing. That's about all you're gonna get. That's amazing. Do you like some of the new movies, like Transformers? Would you like Donovan? Would you go see Transformers?
Maybe, and I like the Iron Man series.
Yes.
But other than that, I really just like slapstick comedies, dude. I mean, just to keep me laughing. I mean, I think that heavy movies, especially, I travel a lot across the Atlantic, so I just like things I can laugh or fall asleep to. I mean, I'm not really into heavy movies. Never was.
Do you always fly first class?
I actually don't remember turning. It's been about 25 years since I
wow.
I passed
Good for you.
Since I passed the curtains. Yes,
that's amazing. And how great are those pods though? Is that not like? Are those not the greatest inventions on the planet?
The pods are very nice. The pods are nice, but in Virgin the beds are way better.
Oh, I hate you. What are the beds like? So I've never flown Virgin first class.
Yeah, or BA. I mean, it's just a.
I haven't gotten out of cargo class in 6 years. I don't even know what world you're in, Donovan. That's amazing.
Sorry, I apologize.
Because it's a privilege. You're not bragging about it. I asked about it. In life, man, I'll tell you, Donovan, we don't know each other, but I'm always so happy for people's success. I think it's the greatest thing in the world.
I'm the same way.
And it is, why not live vicariously through others who deserve where they're meant to be? And dude, you won a gold medal for this country in one of the hardest sports there is, which is that you have less than 10 seconds to prove you're the best in the world. Yep. That is an unbelievable feat, if you ask me, and you did it. And dude, if I had an airplane, you'd for sure be sitting up in the cockpit with me, man. I mean, it would be the best.
That might work. That's good. Yeah, private's also nice.
In private, yeah. Well played, sir.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Donovan Bailey, it's great to have you here. So you live in Toronto most of the time, though? This is still home for you, even though you travel a ton?
When it's not cold, I'm in Toronto.
Do you take off to the Caribbean or Caribbean later?
I take off to the Caribbean or Caribbean, yes. There's definitely a place there where it's warm and I can get out to the golf course.
Good stuff. Is it Jamaica? Is that where you reside?
Yeah, Jamaica for sure.
Great. Where were you born exactly in Jamaica?
I was born in Manchester, Jamaica. Not Manchester, England. Kind of funny because Manchester, England is where BBC head office is, which is where we're based a lot of times. But I was born in Manchester, Jamaica.
So and a nice place, beautiful, gorgeous.
Oh, it's rolling hills and farm country, greenery and sunshine every day.
I hate you again.
I apologize.
Have you ever been to Turks and Caicos?
I have been to Turks and Caicos.
Is that not a beautiful spot?
It's not bad. It's not Jamaica, but it's definitely not bad.
The boys love Jamaica here. Roddy and Jeff are big fans of Jamaica.
They gotta love it. Turks and Caicos is awesome, but it's just a little bit more flat. So Jamaica is more like, if you've been to Vietnam, Jamaica is more like that. Or Brazil, where it's big rolling hills, mountain, amazing views. So, but Turks is a little bit different than that.
I think the nice part about Turks is the water and sort of the the scuba diving and stuff. But in terms of Jamaica, I would also say it could be the jerk chicken and the weed. But I'm just saying that. Okay,
I know a lot about the jerk chicken. I can't say anything about it. I don't know. I
forgot it. It's not a Rob Ford versus Ben Johnson race. I forgot about that.
I know nothing about it.
Well, oddly enough, that's what was going to be at the finish line at the Rob Ford race. There's a lot of jerk chicken and weed. So.
He wouldn't have won. Maybe you guys should figure out that maybe you should fund this race.
You know what? I think I would never see Rob run faster.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish him the best of health, though.
You always. No, that's we talk about it too. That despite how this guy really has been living this volatile roller coaster run as a mayor, despite all of that, which really is a bit of an F up. But you always hope people do well in terms of their health. So
for sure. I met the mayor a couple of times, and he's always just a good dude. I mean, seriously,
he's a nice guy.
Very nice guy. Yeah, very nice guy.
Do you get caught up in the politics of the city? Do people ask you who you're voting for in this new election coming up?
Well, yeah, I mean, but I don't get caught up in it. There's a good friend of mine that's running, and I think that there's a lot of people who are trying to involve me in a political discussion. I'm like, no, he's my friend, and I actually just want him to run. A guy named John Nunziata, but I just said he's my friend, and I think he'd make a great city councilor. But I don't get caught up. I don't get caught up in the business of politics. The politics of sports, believe me, is enough for me to deal with on a global level. So it's listen. I definitely want the best for Toronto. We want whomever the best man or woman is, you certainly would want the best for Toronto, and Toronto now being, a mega city, and again, like I said earlier, the biggest melting pot in the world. You just want the very best leader to actually lead.
When you go to, whether it's Manchester, Jamaica, or Manchester, England, did it follow you everywhere you went, where people are like, "Hey, you got this guy Rob Ford, or you got this guy Rob Ford. What's up with him, man? Is that okay? I tried. You tried Scarface. I tried Jamaican.
That's terrible. My Scarface is better than your Jamaican. Yes. No, I get asked. You always get asked. Any Canadian news, you're going to get asked. But so a lot of times, especially when I'm in America, a lot of times they'd ask me about Rob. I'm like, you know what? I met Rob a couple of times. Great guy. I mean, I don't know nothing about the personal issues that he went through. I mean, that's just how things are played out in the media. And then now he's ill, and you just want to make sure that he gets over that. But
he's a jovial individual. Every time I've seen him too, he puts your arm around you, you take a pic with him, he tells you a funny story, and you move on, type of thing. Is that a similar experience?
Well,
for you?
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's definitely the same. Rob came over and said, "Listen, I got to take a photo with you," and he said, "Listen, I'm a big fan of yours." So he'll say, "I'm a big fan of yours," and I said, "You seem to do an incredible job with the city," because I've heard that. I've heard that he's actually done some good things with the city. I mean, other than again the personal issues that I know nothing about it. He seemed to have done a good job. In his mayoralship.
Yeah, I mean, some will say. I again, we're pretty party agnostic. I don't know much about politics. Jay Brody, you've chimed in a few times. Obviously, a big fan of Donovan Bailey, sitting within an inch of you. But pretty neat, eh?
It's amazing. It really is. Like you're genetically better than me in everything. But I got to ask you, it's just being this close. It's amazing. I realize
it might rub off on you.
I don't know. I'm hoping it might, but inferior in every way. I'm finding. I got to take you back to 1997. It's like 1997, SkyDome, you versus Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson's claiming, or the media's portraying him as the world's fastest man, even though, historically it's always been the 100-meter winner that's been the world's fastest man. You race him, he pulls up and blows out his quad. What are your thoughts going back to that day? Do you feel you were robbed of a race? Do you think he pussed out, I guess we can say?
You can call Michael Johnson a pussy. That's fine.
I'm going to call Michael Johnson.
I think so.
A pussy. But do you find that, you going back there, and it must have been, all the pressure's on you at that point.
Right.
It's in your hometown, 30,000 of your fans. The event leading up to the days, or the event, the financing wasn't going well. You had issues with the IAAF, calling it a circus. Going back to that day, do you wish that he actually raced? Do you have any thoughts on that, going back there?
No, listen, I think it probably played out exactly how it was gonna. Michael, well, one of the great things about the event itself is that one of the great American broadcasters said that Michael was the fastest man in the world, and Michael believed it, and even today, Michael's top speed is 22 miles an hour. Mine's 29. So,
what's up?
So at the end of the day, he had a serious math issue. The other issue that we had was that wasn't the first time I raced Michael Johnson, and I've never lost to him. So it wasn't really a big thing. I mean, the race ending how it did. Was very anticlimactic, because I think that in I think I was representing Canada, but representing like a new generation of Canadians then that said, we're tired of being called whatever you just said. We're trying to be second rate. We're trying to be. You're tired of being the stepbrother to the north. This the number one guy against the guy.
All about America. America's got the best runners. America's got the best athletes. America. No. They don't.
Right, and I think that's really how it was. So the representation at that time was that, listen, I'm going to take you out and I'm going to kick your ass.
And you did.
Well, of course. That's expected. I mean, Michael's a great guy and probably the best 400-meter guy that ever lived, but you can't step into a man's race.
Oh,
I love this stuff, man. Then, later on, you also, though, towards the end of your career, you hurt your Achilles, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, is that the most painful thing in the world?
Yeah. It was, for me, it's actually quite shocking because I was out in Oakville we were playing a charity basketball game, and I was walking on the court. I was just walking on the court and just heard like the hollow sound. And it just popped. So it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything strenuous. I wasn't running, jumping, lifting weights or anything. So it just popped. I mean, and thank God I had the best surgeon and an incredible physio team that kind of put it back together. But it was, and I came back to compete again. So
yeah, you competed in 2000, right?
Yeah, competed in 2000 and then retired in 2001 in Edmonton. Yeah.
Wow. Do you still, for fun, do any? Are you in a runners club now? Or
No. I'm a sprinter. I'm going to educate you. See, I'll educate you. So I am a sprinter. So it's like saying you're going to take a Ferrari on four wheeling. You just don't do that. I mean,
I see.
Yes. I mean, I play basketball in college, so I play basketball now to stay in shape.
Can you still dunk?
No, God, I try, man. I try. No, maybe on a small rim, the rim at the house,
Yeah, the Nerf net.
Yeah.
Hey, Donovan Bailey, you've obviously been around the globe. You're like we've said all show long, and everybody knows a gold medal winning 100-meter runner. I get the difference. You didn't do the long stuff.
No, I didn't do the long.
You must have met some of the neatest and coolest people in the world because of sort of who you are and what you've done.
Yeah.
Is there someone that stands out in your mind that's like, even you were like, wow, I'm hanging out with so-and-so. This is amazing.
Oh, I've met some of the, comes to mind quickly, Muhammad Ali.
Oh my God.
Muhammad Ali, yeah. And he called for me when I was in Atlanta, and he called. He said, hey, champ. Yeah, I mean, incredible. I had dinner with Nelson Mandela in Toronto.
Oh my God.
Bob Marley. Listen, tons. I met some of the most incredible people on the planet, for sure.
What? I mean, talking about privileges and blessings. That's what a blessed life.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, every day I do count my blessings because my 2 feet and maybe my attitude has taken me to 160, 170 countries around the globe, meeting the top people in everything. Meeting the top musicians, music people, some of the biggest and most influential people in the world. I've done a few shows with a couple of those people. Just it allows me to kind of live and fall asleep very comfortably at night, knowing that it's been a good run, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, it has been. I mean, it's wild. I'm so happy for you that a guy like Muhammad Ali. What would he have said to you? Just like congrats and let's celebrate together.
He was in Atlanta and he lit the torch. So I mean, after I won and I broke the world record, he just asked. I mean, I wanted to meet him and when I met him, I was. Oh my! I felt like I was a 3-year-old. I mean, you're a giddy 3-year-old, not knowing
that's
what
the way
to
I am
do.
right now. To be honest, meeting you, that's the truth.
Thank you very much. But meeting him and just standing in awe. I mean, just meeting him for I might have spent an hour with him. It felt like it actually felt like 2 seconds or like a year. So depending on how I'm feeling, you kind of go, wow, I'm here. I'm here. I'm in the presence of this man.
Was it before the day of selfies? Like, did you get a selfie? I imagine in '96, you didn't go, me, Muhammad Ali. Hashtag coolest guy ever. Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell me what kind of cell phone you had in 1996?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, if I could only turn back time, I'd have a really good cell phone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think about things like that where you're in a situation, there's no phone. I mean, there's no phone. There's no camera. There's a camera far away, or you just don't think about it. Like I'm just so in awe, I can sit and have a conversation. So that's way better than me having that memory. Although a photo would be so awesome.
Well, you got it in your head, man. What a neat, interesting perspective you say about how, back in the day, and you're with all these people aren't looking down and they're not distracted, and it's real eye-to-eye contact. And without these, these devices that we need and we live by, but at times they really just get in the way of really what's coolest thing in this world is hanging out with people and getting to know them. How do you think, though, the revolution of the phone and the YouTubes and stuff, has it helped your sport with the Usain Bolts, the stuff where people don't see it live, but you can go on YouTube and see that 12-second, well, in his case, 9.55-second race. Right. But the fact that they see that and can go viral, does it help your sport a little bit?
I think it's helped. Well, the obvious answer is yes.
Yeah.
But I think the obvious answer is yes for everything. It's helped, create new musicians, new sporting heroes, events that you can pick up on live streaming. I think it's done. I mean, marketing in the 21st century is way different than it was back then, and it definitely has created stars and created a brand new marketing perspective on how the new kids do it these days.
The new kid, I guess, now he's been doing it for a few Olympics anyway, but Usain Bolt, is anyone ever going to touch this guy's record? Do you think that's possible?
You know what? I never thought that I would live to see, and I ran, and I did this event. I never thought I'd live to see someone running 9.5. So the answer to is someone going to touch a record is probably yes. When we're going to see it, don't know. Who can do it right now? Usain can. So the only person that can beat Usain right now when he's on, when he's in shape and he's ready, is Usain. He's an incredible kid, which is the first thing. He's a fun-loving. He doesn't even understand, what he's done or he doesn't even understand his capabilities. He seriously has no idea. Like, he steps out there and he's having fun and he's
just living in the moment.
Yep, he's hanging out with the audience and he's doing the river dance and then he goes, he's doing the pose.
Oh, it's awesome.
And then he gets out and wins. But one of the great things that I like about Usain is that he actually takes advice from the OGs, the old gangster, myself. Linford Christie. Even Carl Lewis, even although Carl sometimes is a bit of a hater when it comes to Usain.
No.
But he takes advice. So he actually understands all what it is that we did before him and recognize that as a sport ambassador, essentially the legacy that he has to leave, that we left for him, what he has to leave for the future.
There's a way people have to act when you're the best at what you do, and there's you always have to be approachable and coachable, and it's nice to hear those stories as well, because there's a lot of people, and one of the things again with the program, we're always juvenile, and I tell this to a lot of guests who don't listen to our show, but if we can't give back in a positive way, we're not doing our job, and it doesn't mean you can't have fun while you're doing it, but yet respect is the most important thing, and to know that a guy like Usain Bolt, whose name I never say correctly, and I apologize. Usain.
Right.
but Usain.
Yeah.
Like you.
Yeah.
Usain. Yeah. Okay. As opposed to an ex-girlfriend who was insane, but it's not Usain. That's all. Okay. It's just mine. It was Usain Bolt, and what a great last name, Bolt. That was just meant to be.
Well, I think so. I think that when he was born, they kind of go, this guy is going to be, he's going to be a superstar, and he's going to run really fast.
Got to be fat. Bolt. He's gone.
Yeah.
But Usain Bolt, to know that this guy of his stature takes it so seriously and also really does listen to the ones before him, and I love those messages. I really think it's important for any up-and-comer, and no matter if you're a great engineer who's going to be the next certain architect or something, and you're taking lessons. It's like Goodwill Hunting stuff is what it's like.
Well, it is. And he gets it. Like, he gets exactly what he's supposed to do, exactly where he's supposed to be, and essentially how he's supposed to act, and recognize also that he is the 100-meter champion is the guy that's the sport ambassador usually. So it is our responsibility to ensure that cross branding, coming into a music show, radio show, going to Oktoberfest, like wherever, just you go to wherever the audience is and you speak about your sport, you speak about your event, just to have new eyes on the tube.
And avoid words like pussy. You can't.
That's a cat.
We can't.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I can't call
No.
Michael Johnson a puss?
No. Well, I can't either.
You can't?
You both can.
I can.
Well, we shouldn't in respect of Donovan and Usain.
And Usain.
Yes.
I got to ask you, Donovan.
Yes.
And this just blows my mind.
Right.
It really does, because you train in runners, specifically 100-meter dashers, all right? train.
I like dashers.
You like
Dashers
that?
are good.
Dasher.
I just call
Dasher.
him, I
Okay.
just call him a reindeer. I think I call Donovan Bailey a reindeer.
It's about respecting.
I'm a dasher now.
I called Michael Johnson a puss and Donovan Bailey a reindeer.
I'm a dasher. Okay, cool.
Okay, so embarrassed.
All right, Rudolph. Okay.
Hey, I'm Rudolph now. Yeah. I have that gin nose. You train 4 years, sometimes even more, for one race that comes down to milliseconds.
Right.
How do you keep that reality out of your head? We, as entertainers, we're here 2 hours a day. We do this every single day. We have time, and it's all on the line for you guys in that one moment. Everything you've trained for comes to that one race. How do you keep that out of your mind? I can imagine that pressure being so crippling to some. How do you get that out of your head?
Well, you can't. I mean, if you're mentally weak, then you're in the wrong sport. You're in the wrong event. I mean, it's like
God, he's cool, eh? Donovan Bailey's really cool. Honestly, I'm sorry, he's cool. He's a cool cat.
It's like saying, like I said, I always compare it to music or whatever, right? I mean, if you're a football player and your goal is not to get to the Super Bowl one day, then you really shouldn't be playing. I mean, you shouldn't be playing football. I mean, it's just hockey. If you're not trying to win the Stanley Cup, then you really shouldn't be there. So track and field is very much the same thing. I mean, as in music, you're going to have really good gigs along the way, but you know that the big show is going to come one day. And I think that's what your mental preparation is. That's what doing the small things every day is. That's doing the monotonous things that really are irritating. That's being healthy, getting good therapy, eating properly, going to bed and sleeping. I mean, all of those things are the exact same things that you guys do in entertainment. As well as what I do in sports. It's the exact same ingredients. I mean, I think that, if you burn the candle at both ends, if you show up every day here and you have, an hour sleep, every day the show is not going to be as great as you want it to be. So
sometimes, unfortunately, for me, it's better because I think less and I'm actually funnier. No, as opposed to getting.
Sorry about that. Then
you're right. I mean, listen, I get what you're saying. A balanced lifestyle is the most important lifestyle.
Sure.
Do you miss? I mean, that high you must have experienced, winning some of these big races, World Championships, the Olympics, all this stuff. Is that tougher later in life, 20 years down the road, or or do you just get it in small victories now and giving back and talking to children and charity and stuff?
Yeah, you know what? I think the high that you get winning or competing at that level, there's zero things to compare it to. Mm-hmm. And I think because I was a balanced person, I did a lot of philanthropy things before I was competing and during. You do get small victories. You do just have small victories now. I mean, I think that it's important when a kid comes up to you and said, "Listen, you inspired me." Or you inspired me to do whatever. And it doesn't matter what it is. You inspired me to graduate from high school. You inspired me to go on and play football. You inspired me to make the hockey team. You inspired me to become a doctor or a lawyer. I think that those are the small things that really matter right now. And the fact that when I do a lot of charity, especially in the mentorship part of things, the fact that I can walk into a room and put a smile on the face of a ton of people.
Really, man. It's really great to talk to you, and you have a beautiful aura about you. You do, and you can tell it comes from a very compassionate place. And to remain as level-headed as you have and do and are, and the way you represent yourself in your sport and everyone around you. I mean, I'd be a cocky fucker. Yeah. I would not be this. I mean, I think it is such a nice message to pass on to people. You are the best runner in the world. You're top two, as you said. The other guys were, who knows what they were doing.
Right.
But and the fact that you just come in here and really give back the way you do and act like really a regular Joe. It's thank you for it.
Well, you know what? I think that the bottom line is that sometimes it's just personality. I think that you see some of the nicest guys because I know Wayne well, but Wayne is a hockey player, and he'll take your heart out. But he comes off the ice, he's going to smile and he's going to say he's going to smile and be a nice dude. I'm very much the same way. I mean, if I'm an extremely confident guy, and I'm an extremely competitive guy. So if I'm going to go on the track or on the basketball court, I mean, I want to win. When I get off, when I'm talking on the radio, we can hang out.
All right. Well, remind me never to play 21 with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
And I apologize. I don't know. Are you a married guy or are you a family?
No,
or?
I'm a single guy.
Single guy. That must be fun too.
Yeah. Yes, I'm a divorced father of 2. Yes.
Okay.
So it's
How old are your children?
my daughter is 20. My son is 9. Actually. So he's my daughter's favorite sport is shopping, and my son loves football. He actually really loves football and basketball, and I'm just getting him to love golf because I want us to go hang out in the golf.
What's your handicap?
My handicap now or then?
Well, let's say, are you a good golfer?
I'm a 60 now. We went down to a 9 at one point.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened? Just
I just don't play. I don't play. I mean, or I play a lot of charity, so it's just, just line them up and whack them. So, I mean, it's not charity, when you're playing a scramble, it's, it really doesn't take.
No one cares.
And you're not really counting anything. You really they get out there, they want the guy who drives it the farthest, and then try and figure out how we can.
Are you ever tempted to run, catch the ball, and then dunk it in the hole before it lands?
If I did that, I wouldn't be here right now.
No, anytime you play in those best ball tournaments, there's always some CEO guy who cheats on his round. He's not the guy who's getting those scores. I don't know why they do it. And then they're the one usually putting on the event. They got to tell everyone they won, and then they get the trophy. That bothers me.
Well, yeah, I mean, Well, I mean,
what happened to integrity of best ball tournaments, Donovan?
I have no idea, but you know what? But there are definitely some great tournaments, and I've played in a couple of great ones. I mean, so it's also another place for us to meet. For me to meet like my guys, the fellas, my friends on the NFL and the NBA. And
who are some of your buds that you'll go golfing with? I could talk to you all. Do you have to go? Like there's 2 other guests here that I've completely ignored, and I have sponsors to thank. But no, I don't care. This is. Listen, those other guests have not won a gold medal. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. No, I golf. Lennox Lewis is a good buddy of mine.
No way.
Yeah, so it's someone I grew up.
Is that
with.
accent real?
It can be.
Yeah.
No, it's real. It's realish. It's realish. Yeah, Lennox, I said it. Realish. Yes. No, but I mean, I've got, like I said, I've been fortunate to meet a lot of guys. A lot of NFL and NBA guys.
Wow, that's amazing, man. I love it, and I hope. I hope we get to know you more. I hope you drop by again, and whatever you're promoting, if there's ever anything you're working on, any charitable stuff, and you want to come back on the show, we would love to have you. So hopefully you don't mind dropping in once.
No, it's been fun. It's definitely been fun, and anytime I'm back in the city, definitely I'll come in and hang with y'all.
We could always do the show from your place in Jamaica, man.
Yeah. Oh, well, come.
Yeah,
come.
Yeah. Do you have it's a nice place? Like, is there extra rooms for us, or?
I think there's a few extra rooms. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I don't think we're allowed there.
if you get through the gates.
Whereabouts in Jamaica?
In Montego Bay.
If we get through the gates. It took me a few seconds. Hey, they wrote a song about that Montego Bay once. Yeah, they did. Yeah. Well, listen.
There's a few songs
about.
Don't know, but
who are some of your favorite artists?
I'm still funny enough. I mean, I grew up as a hip hop kid, and I still follow. I know Jay-Z, Drake. I mean, I'm still, but I like my musical, my musical library has a ton of things. I mean, and you might be surprised that Genesis, Led Zeppelin, The Doors. I mean, those are all. I mean, Jimi Hendrix, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's tons of. I list a ton of jazz. And of course reggae, because that's just my culture. But a ton of jazz, lots of old school stuff. But my musical library has a whole lot of things in it.
Well, listen, man, we have musicians here, and they've written you a song while you've been on here.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So Roddy and Jeff from Rebel Emergency, they're gonna sing you a song out. Donovan Bailey, before they do, I have one more question. I know that drugs is completely banned from any Olympic sport, but wouldn't it be funny to see one of these runners in those short shorts take Viagra just before a race?
Wow. Well, I don't think they need to, huh?
Yeah.
I think that's why.
Did you ever have a sneak peek? Like, that's scary. Is that Well, you see the thing because it's
See what
short. The
thing?
shorts, you think you're.
Well, sometimes you're just blessed.
Yes.
Donovan Bailey, my man, and listen, I'll just one night. I just want to be in his shoes one night. What a beauty! Hey, this is really quite an honor. It was a privilege for us. Thank you so much, Donovan, for being here for so long. Jay, do you have any parting words before Roddy and Jeff serenade Donovan Bailey off?
You talked about how many impressive people you've hung out with, and I just want to apologize for this. Sorry about me. I'm the world's fastest man. The only hope I have in this life is to become the world's flattest man when I merge with my memory foam mattress.
No, this has been awesome, guys.
Thank you. Well, go follow him at Donovan Bailey on Twitter and look for him. You can find him and see him still on the BBC. And I'm sure with the we didn't even talk Pan Am Games. Okay, that's a great excuse to get you back. Deal?
Yes. As soon as we get organized with the Pan Am Games, people, I'll be back.
Okay, wonderful. So that's good to know. The Pan Am Games, we'll talk about that because that's an exciting time for Toronto, of course, all of Canada, and really exciting stuff happening in just over a year, just under a year from now, isn't it?
Just over a year.
Yeah, just over a year. Wow, exciting stuff. Well, listen, boys, take out Donovan. Once again, man, really thank you so much for being a part of the show here on SiriusXM Canada Laughs Ch.168.
All right, thanks a lot.
I appreciate it, man.
Every day he sweated out on the tracks of a runaway Canadian dream. In 1996 he made the whole country stand up and fucking scream. Sprung from the streets of Manchester, Jamaica, fuel injected, he stepped up to the starting line. Oh, baby, this guy took off like a red and white rocket ship, brought the gold to Canada. He'll always be number one. Hey, screw you out of Bolden. 'Cause Donovan Bailey was born to run.
That's awesome.
Bailey was born to run.
Otto Bolden came in third, by the way. That's why. You got it.
Donovan Bailey, everybody. He was born to run. Thank you again for your time here on the program.